Hi there, it's Elaine Grundy from the Reiki Centre, and in this video I'm going to cover a question that I've been asked, and I think it's probably quite a common question, around this idea of coming into our Reiki practice more deeply, and how do you deepen your awareness of what's happening during a Reiki treatment. So the question I was asked is, at the moment, I have some difficulties focusing while doing the self-treatment, and I don't seem to notice the sensations and what thoughts rise up during Reiki. My mind wanders away very often, and I have to say I often only do 6 or 7 hand positions and leave out the ones on the back. So, any tips on how to find a way to connect more with Reiki practice and myself? And this is something that I often get asked. So I think first of all, it's to understand that it is called a Reiki practice for a reason. It is a practice. So like everything, you do get better with it. And it's very common in the beginning to have the mind wander, and also to have a great deal of difficulty really coming into our own sense of self. And this is really the reason why we do Reiki, right? We are so conditioned into being in our heads that we have lost the ability to feel sensations and to feel what is actually happening within our own body. We have spent so many years running away from ourselves, truly running away, that as soon as I say, okay, what's happening in your hands, or if I place my hands on my body, what's actually happening within my hands, within the space between my hands and within my body, for the average beginner, it's like I'm speaking a completely different language. And some of you may notice more sensation when you Reiki other people. And this is why we say it's often a very good thing in Reiki to practice on others. And the reason why is because, for whatever reason, the sensitivity when you touch someone else is more enhanced. My lovely friend Elaine says it's a bit like tickling yourself is not quite as ticklish as tickling someone else. If someone else tickles you, it's more tickly. And it's that kind of idea whereby when we do things to ourselves or for ourselves, our sensitivity is often not as acute as if we're doing it for someone else, because there's something about the energy. That aside, when you are doing your own Reiki practice, at home alone, and you're trying to connect more deeply with yourself, and that is your primary reason for doing Reiki. It's not to help you sleep or not to get rid of a headache or something like that. It is actually to deepen your own awareness of self. Then when I talk about deepening your connection with self and connection with the sensations, if you are not feeling any sensations at the moment, then it is more about, like, when I place my hands on my body, like for me, I'm feeling a whole bunch of stuff now because I've been practicing it for many, many years. It's more about, okay, can I even bring my attention to my hands? Can I bring my attention to what is happening in my hands? And for some people, even that is something really foreign, because you've spent so much time in your head, like every single piece of focus is on your thinking, on your mind, on the external, that even the question, can you feel your hand? Like when you place your hand on your body, are you even aware? And this sounds ridiculous, but it really is this simple. Are you even aware you have hands? That you are connected to your hands? And even this process for some of us is a real challenge because we are so disconnected. And that's not to beat yourself up if you just figured out you have hands. It's actually to come into a real, it's like an aha moment. If you don't even know you have hands, then no wonder the rest of your body can be going through all kinds of illness or disharmony or tension, and you have no clue. And you have no clue. And the reason you have no clue is because you are so disconnected with the body system. Now, the good news is once you realize this, you can get back in contact. I mean, you cannot get back in contact if you deny it. So when you're putting your hands on your body somewhere and you don't feel anything, then my suggestion is you start with the simplest awareness. Am I aware of my hands? Am I even aware, as I place them, the feeling of the feeling of the material under my hands? And then you just bring your attention into the hands themselves. The first layer of the skin, am I aware of my skin? And am I aware of the sensation of the skin touching the fabric? I mean, these are really coming into a deep knowing. And I think sometimes when I say to people, pay attention to the sensations, they don't understand that I am talking that basic. Can you feel the skin? Can you feel the barrier, the boundary of your skin and the material? And then within that, can you feel under the material your chest or wherever it is on the body that you're feeling? And can you feel the pressure? And can you feel any other sensations, any temperature sensations? Can you feel the tickling or the vibration of the cells? Can you feel within the hands themselves as they touch your body that there is a kind of vibration or pulsing or like for me, I describe it as tingling. And the tingling, when you start to really sense it, is very intense, actually. There's a lot of activity going on here, but only if you are truly coming into a presence. And that's not the same as thinking about it. So this is the other thing. People are trying to think about this, that, and the other, but it's not. It's are you living it? Are you breathing it? Can you feel the sensations, and you become the sensations? And these are things that you need to practice. If you have spent decades out of your body, if you have spent decades in your head and filtering every single thing through your head, this first, what seems like a very simple step, is a monumental step. And for many of us, we're so disconnected from our body that when I say feel the sensations of your hands, you don't feel anything. And the reason you're not feeling anything is because you're not bringing it back into the body, fully into the body, and really asking yourself those very basic questions. Can I feel my skin? Can I feel the material under my hands? Can I feel the next layer? Can I feel up my arm? Can I breathe into my chest and feel as I breathe the material against my chest? And these may seem like really boring, like really unspiritual questions, but they're not. Your ability to inhabit your home is the body. And this is the thing that we have been, I don't know even where the mythology comes from, but we have this mythology that spirituality is up here somewhere. I think maybe because it's the crown chakra and the third eye, and we're all up here, but it's not. The deep spiritual aspect of self is in the body. This is your home. It's not out there somewhere. So if you can't even feel your hands, or if you can't even feel your chest, or you can't even feel what's going on inside yourself, how can you have a spiritual experience? I mean, we're here to have a spiritual experience, but that experience has to be experienced through the body. This is our vehicle, and it's not experienced in our minds. That's called imagination. And imagination is not the same as reality. So you might be in a kind of meditative state and you might be listening to a guided meditation that takes you up into the cosmos and, all these lovely guided meditation techniques that we have, which have their place, but it's not the same thing. That's you in your imagination. That's not you in your body. And that's not you having a spiritual experience on this planet. And these are completely different things. So first thing to do if you want to truly deepen your Reiki practice is to get into your body. That's the most important thing. Get into your body, get into your skin, feel the fabric, feel the breath, be the sensations. And that might seem incredibly boring for the mind because there's nothing going on apart from these sensations. But that's step number one. And until you can do that step number one, you really can't come home, because that is the home. This is what we've got, and this is all we've got. And it may not seem what you're expecting, but it's step one. And it's a very, very important step. So get cracking onto that. Hopefully that has helped some of you answer the question of how do I deepen. It's not quite as dramatic or exciting as many of you would probably like, but it is a very, very important first step. And you can spend months and months practicing this. And then suddenly, I promise you, once you start to get it, it opens up a whole new layer of depth and sensation and understanding of what the heck I'm talking about. So it's an experience. I can keep talking like this forever, but until you actually experience it yourself, you're not really going to get the deeply spiritual, sacred nature of what I am actually talking about. That you must experience for yourself. And I hope that you do. Thank you very much.